Live and in living color, it's now time for Smackdown Week 7 as we are actually a couple minutes past from the latest edition of Velocity. Of course, a great Sheamus Mustafa Ali main event. But of anything, from the Velocity main event now to your Smackdown main event, of course. Well, in One Night Stand Extreme Rules, a week from Sunday, it will be Kofi Kingston defending the WWE Championship in the Triple Threat TLC match against Kevin Owens and Aleister Black here tonight. It's a little bit of a preview of that contest. As in your main event, it's KO. He takes on Kofi Kingston in a non-title affair, and have to believe Aleister Black will be watching that match on closely. Of course, that matchup, was made from General Manager Edge, who made the Triple Threat in the first place, announced it last week. And so Smackdown looks to top Raw's Universe Championship matchup, of course, for a Universe title. Over on Raw, Seth Rollins defends the Universe title against Mark Henry in a tables match. And with Smackdown, they look to top it with a TLC match. But if anything, no more contender to Jim Hall's Intercontinental Championship a week from Sunday is in the ring. Let's listen on what he has to say. Oh man, well Ziggler is not too happy, obviously taking offense to Jim Mahal's comments on Twitter. Of course, last week on SmackDown, Jim Mahal with those Twitter fingers, like all you marks and smarks. Anyway, that's beside the point. Of course, Ziggler and Jinder, they shall face off against Jeff for the IC belt a week from Sunday at One Night Stand Extreme Rules. And Jinder, he's mocking Dolph here. Dolph Ziggler, of course, thinks himself as one of the best athletes here on SmackDown, but also in the whole company in general. And well, it's very difficult to argue that here. But Jinder Mahal, he's not taking Dolph seriously at all here. Yeah, well, Jinder, not accompanied to the ring by the Singh brothers here. So maybe, just maybe, Dolph does not have to worry about being ambushed here. But I have a bad feeling this does not end well for either of these two men. Challengers a week from Sunday. And they come in face to face here tonight. And Ziggler, the low blow onto the Intercontinental Champion. Dolph Ziggler obviously did not really take those comments, too kindly. If I think, dropkick. Jim Mahal calling Dolph Ziggler a failure, mentioning his mediocre world title run, mentioning, his very rough start to his career as, of course, a member of the Spirit Squad. And Dolph, not too happy about those moments, and to the outside he goes along with Jinder. From the crossbody, Jinder Mahal just pushed the buttons of Dolph Ziggler yet again. First on Twitter, now face to face here. And Dolph is laying it out here. And God, what a clothesline. And the referee here, he's gonna have to take control here. We got a matchup we need to get to here. And so the referee, more officials now coming out as they now separate these two men. Well, if anything, what a way to kick things off here. But if anything, we still got an opening contest to get to. Of course, second to last episode of Smackdown here. Just before One Night Stand Extreme Rules, and we still need to get some things settled. Here and I asked Becky face off against Andrade. Along with that, Kairi saying she's in action against former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Of course, we showcased your main event. We'll give you a little preview of your main event here and now. Of course, Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston. And it's definitely it's gonna be one hell of a night. We had one hell of a velocity earlier, and here tonight, it's gonna be no different. Smackdown, of course, looking at the top Raw side of the card for One Night Stand Extreme Rules. Along with that, the Iconics of anything. The only promotional matchup on the show on One Night Stand Extreme Rules. The Iconics State Challenge. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for those Women's Tag Team Championships. Of course, the Iconics, they represent SmackDown. Bliss and Cross, they represent Raw. We shall see how that goes. Bayley Kane picked up victory over Mandy Rose, kicking things off on Velocity just a couple minutes ago as well before the show even started. The SmackDown here, second last one, and it's going to be a big one as well. If anything, it's actually very difficult to get any bigger than the big red monster, the big red machine himself, Kane, as well. He opens up the night here on SmackDown. He's in action against Mr. Money in the Bank, Buddy Murphy. Now this one here, two contrasting styles. Definitely an interesting contest, one I'm certainly pumped up for here. Now look at this Murphy here. Kane, I don't think he's noticed here, but Murphy's stalking his prey. Murphy, Mr. Money in the Bank, kicking things off on SmackDown here. Gonna ambush Kane. And now Murphy the upper hand. Club and blow to the back of Kane. And now has the upper hand here. Buddy Murphy, a cheap shot. Down Kane here. Now Murphy from the top of Meteora. Across the face here. Now Kane, sidewalk, backbreaker. That, if anything. He's gonna have to use the speed in this contest here to try and frustrate Kane, but of course a frustrated Kane is also an even deadlier Kane, so it's gonna be difficult. In conclusion, that's what I'm trying to say here. Now look at this here. This is uncharacteristic from the top rope, back superplex from the high red district. It's a disgusting fall for both men, and Kane right there, the big boot. They actually pin Mr. Money in the Bank. Hold that thought, he actually might submit him if anything here. An iron claw. Trying to make Murphy submit here. Grasping across the temple. Across the skull area. And Murphy trying to fight out of it. Oh, look at that counter. Turned into an armbar. Yanks down the arm. That was a beautiful counter. But Kane, he doesn't care for that. Barely affected. Oh, God. Dropkick. And out to the outside ring goes Buddy Murphy. His next maneuver. He took way too long. Oh, God. Just throws Kane. Definitely didn't see that one coming. What a knee. Stays on Kane. Well, he's trying to stay on Kane. The big red monster's not going to let that happen. Club and blows across the face. And a third and big one for good measure. And Kane now. He sizes up Mr. Money in the Bank. Murphy dazed after the strikes here on Kane. He has Murphy. No, he doesn't. He momentarily had him goozled for the choke slam. But sadly enough, it's to no avail. It's Murphy now. From finisher to finisher, Murphy's Law. Has Kane been put away here to kick off SmackDown? No, it's only two, and Buddy Murphy is in disbelief. Two contrasting styles here. And oh God, Murphy gets launched. Legs first. Legs lands on the ropes. Of course, Murphy, fresh off a victory or only lurking. Last week on Velocity, what a knee strike yet again. Once those legs could get tangled up across the ropes, I think that hurts a hamstring. Doesn't look all that deadly, but believe me, definitely hurts. Scout. Murphy had it scouted, and now look at this here by Murphy with the roll up. The sunset flip inside the ring here. Kane caught off guard yet again with another roll up, and Buddy Murphy stole it. Just like that. In the blink of an eye, Buddy Murphy able to just, to be fair, just confuse Kane. Kane was looking to go for a top rope maneuver. Murphy got out of the way. Kane had to call an audible. Didn't work out well. And now look at this here. Murphy is trying to walk away here. And now Kane. Well, Kane didn't like that one way too much, Murphy. Why did you turn around? Perhaps felt the devil's favorite demon's presence. But that was just... Why did he turn around? Murphy's gonna pay for it. And there's nothing else the referee could do but just watch here. You know, it's easier for the referees and officials to separate Dolph Ziggler and Jinder Mahal. How are you gonna separate a pissed off Kane? And Kane's having his way here with Mr. Money in the Bank. Kane not happy about that loss. Oh God, no tombstone power driver. At the end of the ramp. Murphy, he's lifeless. Referee's just watching. Like I said, he can't do anything about it. He could just watch and awe and only beg Kane to stop. But I don't think Kane's stopping at all. Look at this here. fireman's carry. He's dragging Buddy Murphy. Murphy's lifeless. He's not struggling out of it or anything. And Kane, he's not done yet. God. That's where he's at. That tombstone power driver crossed the ramp. Knocked him loopy here. And Kane, well, maybe this could be worse than the power driver on the ramp. A choke slam through a table. Choke slam through the announcer's table. And it just obliterates upon the impact. Murphy, he's down and he's most likely out. If Buddy Murphy wasn't close to being dead yet, he's most certainly is now. Well, Kane, in the record books, he gets a loss here tonight. But if anything, he gets the last laugh to kick things off on Smackdown. A pissed off Kane just obliterated Mr. Money in the Bank and Buddy Murphy. Well, maybe this was not so much of a good match as you expect from Murphy. A victory and you think his night is over, but yet it's not. Well, the night is probably over for Buddy Murphy, more likely than not. But while it's over for Murphy and it's over for Kane, it only just begins here now on SmackDown. When we return, former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley will be in action. This will be the first time we see her in action after she, of course, lost that title to now current champion Carmella back at Money in the Bank a couple weeks ago. Anyway, Bayley's in action, well, against the friend and tag team partner of Miss Money in the Bank, Asuka. That's right, we return. It's Bayley, it's Kairi Sane. Don't go anywhere. The action continues here tonight on SmackDown, just a week from Sunday away from One Night Stand Extreme Rules. And so we're back here on SmackDown. It's now time for Women's Division action. As well, former SmackDown Women's Champion herself, Bayley, is in action here tonight against Kairi Sane. Of course, Kairi Sane, tag team partners with Miss Money in the Bank, Asuka. Of course, Asuka can cash in the briefcase at any given time, whether it be for the NXT, SmackDown, or Raw Women's Championships, to make herself look like an actual threat. But anyway, back into the action here. Center the ring, suplex. And now in the corner here, and Bayley, look at this monkey flip right there. A rough start here, but she can definitely rebound here tonight. And the former SmackDown Women's Champion was this double underhook, suplex, nose reverse. Kairi Sane lands on her feet, big time chop, big time forearm, another forearm shot, and now a kick. And Kairi Sane, of course, great striking ability to the small but mighty Kairi Sane. If anything, there's something Bayley needs to look out for. It's not just the speed of Kairi Sane, it's those devastating strikes, as Bayley has felt a lot of them still in the early stages of his contest. Good God, what a spear. Kairi Sane here from the knee to the gut, and a high kick across the head to rain down hell upon her with the insane elbow, and it connects through the heart of Bayley. She's down and out for sure, 2-0. Now Kairi Sane looking for it for a second time. The insane elbow drop. No, it's missed. Went to the well one too many times. And now Bayley gonna take advantage here with the German suplex, with the bridge here. Sane, she's down. It's only a 2 count. The Alabama slam. Down goes Bayley. And Hardcore Bob Holly has to be proud of that one. And Sane now trying to think for next maneuver. Also trying to catch a breather here, and that's gonna cost her. Recover. And oh, big time knee strike. And yet another one. High vertical leap from the former SmackDown Women's Champion being showcased. And now Bayley continues to stun Kairi Sane with a strike across the jaw here. And now from the high red district, here we go, the superplex. Setting up Sane close to the corner of the ring here. And of course, Bayley and Kairi Sane, one thing they do have in common, they both share the elbow drop in their moveset. And Bayley looking for one of her own. It connects onto the chest of Kairi Sane. What you can do, I can do better, says Bayley as she picks up the victory. So a big time victory for her, but now we need to go backstage. General Manager Ed, she has an announcement. Well, will do, boss. Of course, main thing, big announcement regarding Buddy Murphy and Kane. That's now a matchup added to the One Night Stand Extreme Rules card for the Smackdown side. But if anything, now moving on to your upcoming contest here. Now, this whole tag team showcase battle royal, it shall consist of all 6 teams here. Well, at least a member of each of the 6 teams here on SmackDown. Of course, current SmackDown Tag Team Champions are Heavy Machinery, aka Tucker and Otis. Otis will represent Heavy Machinery here tonight in this 6-man battle royal. If Otis wins this whole thing, if he surpasses the other 5 men, he wins his contest, then Heavy Machinery would not have to defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships next week. But if Otis loses and another man, whether it be Angel Garza or Jeff Hardy, Bo Dallas, or also Eric Rowan, or Gran Metalik, whichever one of those other 5 men in this matchup, if they win that contest, then they will get a SmackDown Tag Team opportunity, a SmackDown Tag Team opportunity for their team. So if Otis wins, Heavy Machinery do not have to defend those tag titles next week. If any other man wins, then they are a teammate, they are a team member, get an opportunity at Heavy Machinery SmackDown Tag Team titles next week. But guess this, it's not going to be next week on SmackDown. It's going to be next week in the main event of Velocity, just before SmackDown begins. Of course, General Manager Edge looking to make Velocity more prestigious, looking to make SmackDown's B show more prestigious than that of Raw's B show. Of course, Raw General Manager JBL, of course, controls Raw and Raw's own B show, Heat. And well, Velocity is looking a little bit better than Heat, if you ask me. With, well, it will look better if we look to have a SmackDown Tag Team main event. But if anything, later on, this Battle Royal begins when we return to determine the #1 contender. And well, the odds are definitely stacked against us. Needs to surpass, there you go, easy enough for me to say, needs to try and surpass 5 other men here in this contest. And so, Gran Metalik and Angel Garza making his humorous mode debut here. Of course, it's him and Andrade. So here are the teams here. Oh, this of course represents Heavy Machinery, along with Tucker. Jeff Hardy represents the Hardy Boys, obviously, of course, with Matt Hardy. Eric Rowan represents the team of Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Bo Dallas represents the B team, of course, his tag team partner is Curtis Axel. Gran Metalik represents the Lucha House Party, with, of course, consists of Gran Metalik and the contender to the Cruiserweight Championship himself in Kalisto. And like I previously mentioned, Angel Garza represents Andrade. And well, if anything, Otis is the first one eliminated. He has got clotheslined over the top rope by Jeff Hardy. Well, that's not a good look for Otis at all. One half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Well, there you go. Our Velocity main event for next week is basically halfway confirmed. Otis the first one eliminated at the hands of the legendary, the veteran, that is Jeff Hardy. Let's leak a little bit of cruiserweight action right there. Of course, my division, what a super kick right there by Garza. Metalik jacking his jaw right there. Now Garza on the verge of being eliminated, and down he goes. To the outside of the ring goes Angel Garza's eliminated. Well, not really the best of debuts for Angel Garza. If anything, we've mostly been seeing Andrade in singles action. But Andrade and Angel Garza are a tag team. Same like Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan is. We just mostly been seeing Daniel Bryan in singles action. And now look, this Jeff Hardy here. Frankensteiner to the outside. The ring goes Gran Metalik. And so we're down to 3. Half of the field has been eliminated, and there's still only, well, less than half of the field, if anything, to go. There's pretty much no other option. You have to team up against the big man that is Eric Rowan, or maybe not. The strength of Bo Dallas. He just eliminated Eric Rowan. The upset. I was about to say the upset of the century, but it's pretty damn close to being the upset of the century. Bo Dallas just eliminates Eric Rowan, and Jeff Hardy gonna take control immediately after. Jeff Hardy wins the Battle Royal, and just like that, Heavy Machinery now have to defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Hardy Boys next week in the main event of Velocity. But Bo Dallas proves me wrong, eliminates Eric Rowan by himself. The strength of Bo Dallas in the first place to lift up a man the size of Eric Rowan is truly impressive. But if anything, ultimately at the end of the day, it's Jeff Hardy who comes away with the victory in this Battle Royal. And so there's the graphic next week in your main event Velocity, just before SmackDown Week 8. Heavy Machinery's second title defense since winning those tag titles back in SmackDown Week 1. They defend against the Hardy Boys. Definitely going to be an interesting contest between those two teams. But if anything, we now move on to singles action here. And well, if anything, that singles action consists of two men who know each other pretty damn well. Of course, two of the four Smackdown participants in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Of course, ultimately they end up coming up short, Dumb and Finn Balor. But Aleister Black, he's in one-on-one action against Andrade and Owens when we return here tonight on Smackdown. Aleister Black looking to gain momentum just before his WWE title triple threat matchup against, of course, Kevin Owens and champion Kofi Kingston. Triple threat TLC, that will be the main event. One Night Stand Extreme Rules, definitely gonna be a good one. Brought to you by the Smackdown brand double foot stomp right there by Black. So Garza trying to recover from his loss, and now here he goes, the striking ability of Aleister Black. Great couple of kicks, followed up with a knee strike moments ago, and now a brain buster. Great striking combination on the part of Aleister Black. And Black now awaits for Andrade to get back up to his feet. And well, of course, the Smackdown side of One Night Stand Extreme Rules, the kickoff show will consist of course, Buddy Murphy and Kane, a rematch from earlier on in the night. Kalisto and Drew Gulak face off in my Cruiserweight division for the Cruiserweight title. And of course, in the main card, Jinder Mahal defends the IC belt against Dolph Ziggler. Charlotte Flair will face off against Carmella. Of course, Flair attacked Carmella last week with steel steps. It's now been made official. It will be a steel steps match between two, and Randy Orton and Lars Sullivan. That's a Singapore Kane match, after Randy Orton attacked Sullivan last week to end off SmackDown. Along with that, the last two matches of the night, if anything, the promotional SmackDown vs. Raw Women's Tag Team title contest between the Iconics and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And finally, of course, the Triple Threat TLC, Aleister Black, Kevin Owens, and WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. And now here we go, the Warrior Death Clutch applied here by Aleister Black, trying to choke out Andrade. Of course, that was on the SmackDown side. Try to wear down the neck, and now Vega coming into play here, distracting Aleister Black. Crucifix here by Andrade, looking to steal one here. Referee took a while to get in position, however, it's two, and it will only be two. Fireman's carry, and takes down the cradle shock, if anything. Like, being showcased right there, and off the ropes, a drop kick. Springboard off the second rope into a drop kick, and now Andrade here. Sizes up a dazed Aleister Black, now looking to end it here. The hammerlock DDT. Quickly into the cover. Now a second wasted, and Aleister Black immediately kicks out. Now here we go. Off the ropes, he goes. A sorry moonsault. And bring him up himself, if anything. God, another high kick. Dazed Andrade seeing Owens and kicks his head off. This time around into a fifth row. The Black Mass. And I think that's all she wrote right here, ladies and gentlemen. Two. And Aleister Black makes quick work of Andrade here tonight. So Aleister Black soaks in the glory of his victory. You know, doesn't really look like a rather stoic Aleister Black. Picking up yet more momentum ahead of One Night Stand Extreme Rules as SmackDown will continue. And so we're back here on SmackDown. Wait a minute here. Of course, Kevin Owens is scheduled to be in action up next in a couple moments in your main event here. And these two had a confrontation. Well, a message sent right there to Black. I mean, by Black, if anything. And, well, Kevin Owens, he didn't take that too lightly. Well, goes to show how much KO and Aleister Black really like each other, if anything. Of course, they had a great contest a couple weeks back on SmackDown, which, if anything, is what led to Edge booking the triple threat in the first place. And also, well, Kevin Owens, a couple shots at Aleister Black. Why is it always Slipknot? It's not really emo. If anything, Aleister Black is more like a death metal and black metal type guy, if anything. Slipknot is like new metal, but well there. So as Black doesn't know his metal all that much, well, not Black, if anything, Owens doesn't know his metal all that much, but whatever. Anyway, when we return here, well, at least in the next couple moments, it's time for a main event, and okay, I'm just gonna get interrupted here. So Charlotte Flair, number 10 for SmackDown Women's Championship, she's backstage. You know, no one in the production crew gave me a heads up, but whatever. And well, there you have it. A message sent by Charlotte Flair. Of course, if anything, targeted at Carmella and targeted at us. Why have a princess as champion when you could have a queen? She makes a very valid point. And so as I can no longer get interrupted, it's now time for your main event of the evening. It's actually has, well, competed in the quickest matchup in Eurosmith history so far, defeating Sin Cara, if anything, in under a second, I believe. Well, not under a second, it's not possible, in under a minute. So, quickest matchup in Eurosmith so far. And Kevin Owens is responsible for that history as he just launches Kofi Kingston into the ring post. And Kofi gonna immediately spring back up. Kofi gonna immediately enter inside the ring here. And Kevin Owens gonna try to stay on him here. Goes for the headbutt. But Kofi catches it. And a leaping clothesline. And down goes KO quickly into a cover. Now is the WWE champion in the center of the ring here. Kofi now. Shoulder tackle. And Kevin Owens, he's in trouble here. Kofi is calling for it. Trying to get himself psyched up here. And KO has no clue where he's at. A dive to the outside by the WWE champion. And Kofi Kingston's in control here. In your main event on Smackdown as the action continues. And so we're back here in Smackdown Week 7. As well during the commercial break of your main event between WWE champion Kofi Kingston. And when his challengers come a week from Sunday, Kevin Owens taking control during the break, and ever since then he's been able to maintain control. After those shots to the gut and the splash, now has Kofi right where he wants him here. In the side headlock, maybe I spoke too soon because now Kofi able to fight his way out of it. Wrenches against the neck. And KO now charges up a big clothesline. You know, Kevin Owens stinks. If anything, it should just be him and Kofi at One Night Stand Extreme Rules. Aleister Black lost that great back and forth contest between the two. Edge decided, however, to give both Black and Owens, even though Owens did win the matchup, he decided to give both men the opportunity in the Triple Threat TLC match in hopes of beating Raw's Universal Championship matchup, of course the tables matchup, between the now returning World's Strongest Man Mark Henry and Universal Champion Seth Rollins. If anything, there are another maneuvers from the Fireman's Care position, a gut buster, no! Big Boy Senton. And Kevin Owens completely and utterly just controlling the pace of this matchup off the ropes. Here we go. Pop-up powerbomb. And Owens, can he end this one in quick fashion? Can he pin the WWE champion? And no, it's only a 2 count. Imagine if KO could pin Kofi. He could do what the likes of Roman Reigns, Dolph Ziggler, and Daniel Bryan have not been able to do. Here, looking to fly here. From the High Red District. A moonsault. Kofi gets the knees up. Very dead. And Kofi was able to catch him, but it doesn't even matter, because Owens just brings Kofi right back down. Those knees to a gut did little to no damage on the prize fighter. And Kevin Owens now charged at Kofi. Oh God! He charged at him, then gets launched up in the air. And now here we go, the Trouble in Paradise. Out like a light goes Kevin Owens. You know, KO, the prize fighter, he was looking good until he just got his damn head kept clean off his shoulders into a cover, and it's a 3 count. Good night, KO. And Kofi Kingston remains undefeated here in Universe Mode. Yet another big momentum boost and victory for the WWE Champion. 7-1 victory for that man right there. As we move ever so closer to One Night Stand Extreme Rules. And so if anything, that will do it for tonight's edition of Smackdown.